Yes, yes, people. Welcome back to another stream. It's another episode of Lbins. Hopefully, you guys are all well. Big up to everyone that's locked in on the YouTube. Please make sure you do smash a like. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. This is the second channel, more LB, so make sure you are subscribed. Trying to get this towards 5K. And if you're watching on X, please make sure you are following both myself and Lbins. You'll see the Lbins at in the comment of the stream. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Lbins, the title race, man. I tell you what, it's things are happening. That's all I'm gonna say. Things
The
are
race
happening.
has been blown wide open thanks to the power of Kobbie Mainoo. What an unbelievable player he is. God, I love that guy.
Yeah, this is the current standings. So Arsenal top 71 points, Liverpool on 71 points as well, but Arsenal have that huge goal difference advantage. City one point behind with the worst goal difference, but goal difference now to me is looking like it's probably unlikely because obviously loads of stuff can happen, but just at the simplistic view, both Arsenal and Liverpool need to lose a game, and we'd have to draw a game for it even to be all on the same point. So goal difference at the moment is obviously you still want to kind of target that against Luton, really, because obviously that is a game that maybe you can try and put some goals past them. But right now, I can't, bro. I'm feeling confident, I'm actually sitting here thinking, I think we're going to do it again because you look at the fixtures, right? We've got the easiest fixtures out of everyone, right? And I know standard caveats, every game's are blah 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 blah, but we do have the easiest games out of the three teams. Arsenal have some solid fixtures, a lot of them away from home as well. Liverpool now have 3 away games on the bounce, I believe. And I'm just looking at it thinking, we only need Liverpool to draw one more game. We only need Arsenal to draw a single game, and yes, we need to win our remaining 7 matches, but I already knew that anyway, because 2 games ago, we were sat here and we were saying the same thing. The only way City win this league is if we win 9 games out of 9. We've won 2, 7 to go. The next one's up against Luton. That cannot be anything other than a win. And the confidence will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes, we're not in an ideal situation. We need teams to do us a favour, but I think teams are going to do us a favour. It's just a question of, are we going to do our own job?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we've got to assume that for this to have any bearing, that City win all their games. As you say, we already knew that. City will know that as well. I agree with you now. Now that we've got the Arsenal and Villa games out of the way in particular, we definitely have the easiest run in. The only one on paper which is tricky is Spurs away, of course, is Brighton away, Fulham away, whatever. But in terms of genuinely, you'd say that's a tricky game. It's Spurs away. And yeah, Arsenal have got to go to Old Trafford. Did you see Liverpool fail to win there? They've got to go away to Wolves, which isn't easy. There's a North London derby thrown in there, which I think actually might be at Spurs as well. That's not easy. I expect Arsenal to. I don't expect Arsenal to get 9 wins in a row. Personally, I think there will be at least 2 points dropped by Arsenal. This was one of the games from a Liverpool perspective. This was one of the games which you had a little asterisk next to of maybe they drop points there, and so it has happened. So in terms of the things to go in our favour, assuming City win all their games, we needed 3 things. Well, we need 3 results to go in our favour. We needed an Arsenal one and 2 Liverpool ones, and now we've had one of those Liverpool ones. So that 3 has now become 2. And there's only 7 games left. So we only need one more thing to happen per club. So genuinely today, I know they didn't get the win in the end thanks to Wan-Bissaka being an idiot, but a draw is still a fantastic result, and it is a massive lifeline to Man City. And credit to Man United, man, because they gave us 6 points this season. And they gave us the FA Cup last season, and they've taken 4 points off Liverpool this season. And they nearly got a result at the Emirates as well. So, if United can do us a bit of a favour against Arsenal as well, this whole City United thing might have some legs to it.
I'm not sure about that.
No.
No, it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Obviously, we were both doing watch-alongs, and Liverpool, I just think they've only got themselves to blame, man. Again, it was very, very similar to the FA Cup game. Liverpool completely dominating the game. Everyone's watching it, laughing at how bad Man United are. You know what I mean? They've not had a single shot in the first half, United. Liverpool's all over them. They didn't put the ball in the back of the net enough. There's only 1-0 up, and they should have been 2-3-0 up, and the game should have been done and dusted. and they just let United back into the game with a stupid bozo moment. And I just look at the way Liverpool played this game, and I'm shocked. I'm really, really shocked at how, I don't know if arrogance the word, but just like they knew what happened last time against United in the FA Cup. They should have come for revenge. They should have been ruthless. And they just didn't seem to be ruthless. They just seemed to just be like, they just seem to look at United and Lil Brougham and just be like, these United are rubbish, and United are rubbish. But if you give them enough opportunities, or you give them some encouragement, they still got decent players on the football pitch that can hurt you. And look, I said this as well in the review video I just done. Liverpool fans and people like to talk about how their 5 attacking players, 6 attacking players as a collective are the best collective in European football. They're all in double digits for goals. There's only really Jota and Salah that are clinical. Diaz ain't clinical. Nunes ain't clinical. Gakpo's terrible. I mean, he should be nowhere near Liverpool's football club. So, they can talk about how collectively they've got a decent collective, but the collective's not very good. You're relying on Salah. They're relying on Jota, who's obviously been injured for a long time. They didn't put the ball in the back of the net. And today was just a carbon copy, in my opinion, of that FA Cup game. Go ahead, in massive control of the game, didn't kill it off. And look what happened. And people will say, oh, yeah, United could have won it. Liverpool could have also nicked it at the end with Luis Diaz with a big chance. But that there for me, I don't know, because I've not spoken to any Liverpool fans yet. I've sent Hussam a couple of messages, and he's really butthurt at the moment. He's not happy. But I don't know what Liverpool fans are saying, but I would imagine that they'd look at this result today and be like, shit, that's not good.
Yeah, definitely. It was. And to be honest, I feel like this game was sort of like a really good like representation of like a lot of Liverpool games this season, to be honest. Obviously Liverpool are a fantastic team, but there have been lots of games this season where the performance actually hasn't been that good, but they've still got the win. The amount of times they went 1 goal down, but then they still won the game because they've got, brilliant game winners, as we've discussed many times in Mo Salah, for example, that and Trent, those sorts of players. But if the finishing of those players lets you down on the day, and Salah didn't have a good game from a finishing perspective, I know he scored the penalty, but a number of chances from open play he just absolutely skied over. If those players don't turn up for you, as we've seen when De Bruyne didn't necessarily turn up for City, at Anfield and against Arsenal, then you're relying on like the collective and all the other players. And as we saw, Darwin Núñez has improved this season, but there's still not that cutthroat clinical nature to his game. Same with Diaz. You need to rely on your other players. I'm glad that they dropped points, but it does feel like a bit of justice as well. I don't think they deserve to win that game, to be honest. I don't think they played out a win. I think a draw is probably a fair enough result, to be honest.
Well, if you look at probably big chances, yeah, you'll probably go, oh, well, Liverpool did deserve to win. But the fact is, the fact that they don't bury the game, the fact that they don't approach the game when they're 1-0 up and recognise that United, as bad as they are, still have players that can hurt you, or you could make a mistake like Quansah did. Like, I'm just can't believe the way that Liverpool played that game again. The fact that they've done it again, like, it sounds like I'm getting annoyed. I'm not. I'm buzzing, but like, it's just, I just can't believe it. And you know it's mad, yeah, because Klopp was getting rattled on the side of the pitch, mate. He's literally losing his mind when Kobe Manu put the ball into the top corner. He's going absolutely sick. And if you look at the chances that Liverpool had in that first half, it's absolutely crazy. And I look at Liverpool, and yes, obviously they've got injuries, right? But let's be real, yeah. Alisson wouldn't have made much of a difference today. Kanate, yeah, these kind of players maybe. Obviously, Jota for me is probably the main one. But we just need them now to have one more of these games in the final 7 where they just not quite firing at the top end. And if they do, we only need them to draw. We're ready to strike. And yeah, listen, it's still going to be tricky. We've still got to win 7 out of 7. We've still got to go to Spurs. But, at the end of the day, we put ourselves in this position. And sometimes, I know this might just sound like copium, but I do actually think it's legit. I don't think I'm just saying this because we're in this position. Sometimes it's kind of easier knowing that you've just got to win 9 out of 9. rather than being like, oh well, we can draw a game. And I know that sounds like maybe it sounds like copium, and maybe people are saying you're just saying that because you're a City fan, but like sometimes when you've got an insurance policy, sometimes you're not too. And in fact, to be fair, I did say this last week. Sometimes when you've got that insurance policy of, oh, we can draw a game, we can draw 2 games. Like you're not like sure whether or not you should go for it. Like we're all fully in agreement that when we're playing Premier League games, we've just got to full send it. We all accept we're going to get done on the counter attack. We're going to concede goals on transition because we've got to go for it. But at least we know where we are. But sometimes when you're in that weird position of like, oh, we don't really need to win this if we don't need to. We could take the draw and move on. What do you think that? Do you think I'm chatting shit there, or you think I'm actually being legit?
No, there's no, I think there's some truth in that, definitely. There's got to be some sort of mental, just from a player perspective, some sort of mental advantage and mental mindset of, because our players have said, every single game. I know it's a cliche. Every game from now is a cup final, and that's not a wrong thing to say. That is correct, and we know that our players are very strong mentally, and that is the way they're going to approach the games. Yeah, there's definitely some truth in knowing that only a win is enough. So even when you're leading, it's like, no, right, we now need to kill said game, as we did against. Oh my God, who was it we played the other day? Oh my God, my brain. Who did we play?
Yesterday.
Palace, that's who we played. Yeah. Oh my God, I've got early onset dementia. That was terrible. Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely some truth into that. 100%. 100%.
Interesting. I mean, before we sort of move on to sort of more City, yeah, United are funny, man. They're a funny team.
Oh my God, bro. Man.
Can I just say,
bad.
I don't want to slag them off too much here because they've just done us a huge favour.
Yeah.
But Casemiro might actually be finished. He might actually be finished. He was absolutely abysmal. I mean, fair play United. They won the game with 10 men there because Casemiro was absolutely shocking. Bruno Fernandes, despite the goal, he is crap. Rashford is crap. I don't even think Højlund touched the ball. Like how did they draw that game? It's actually wild, isn't it?
I don't know.
They're shocking, bro.
Yeah, and so I was just like, I had to stand up on my watch because I was so angry at the lack of game management in like the 90th minute. They were 3 times they kept trying to win the game. It's like, guys, you are terrible. You are not good enough to try and win this game. Stop it. And they should have been punished. Diaz should have scored the winner in like the 95th minute or whatever, but it was just brain dead football. The 91st minute, all Fernandes has to do is go into the corner and you kill like 2 minutes. You try to like play an eye of the needle through ball through like 3 Liverpool players, and they end up on a counter-attack. Pathetic game management. That they are probably maybe the worst coached side in the Premier League. I don't think that's unfair to say. They're certainly up there in terms of how badly they are coached. No game IQ, but hey, they gave us a safety net. So shout out to them for that.
Yeah, thank you, Manchester United. Talk about Højlund, says Naccholini, just shit. Like I just didn't do anything. Didn't do anything, bro. He just stands there and just doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't create any havoc. He just doesn't do anything.
The worst one for me was, I think it was when it was 0, or maybe it was 1-0. It was quite early on in the first half. There was a free kick, and it falls. It's a really clever free kick, and Casemiro heads it across goal into the 6-yard box.
Yeah.
And there's no one there, and because Højlund doesn't read it, man. Like Haaland's, got his critics, whatever. I'm so convinced if Haaland is there, or any, striker with like that sort of instinct, he's in the 6-yard box just in case that ball falls to him. But the reaction or the prediction ability just wasn't there. I thought that was me. That was the biggest grievance I had with his performance, probably that one moment.
Yeah, I agree. 4444 says, LB, what do you think of the penalty? It looked like a dive. I've been told from my mate who's a City fan. He said he's seen another replay where he does actually take him out on the back of his leg. So he's a City fan. He's got no reason to tell me that that's not true if it's not. But the angles that I seen look like a dive. But he's told me he's a City fan that no, actually he did take him out. I don't know if you've seen any other replays, Lbins. What are your thoughts? I don't know why he's diving in. I don't know what he's doing diving.
And that's what I was going to say. Like it's. You've somehow got into a situation where you are winning against your arch rivals, and you've put in a relatively stable defensive display, whatever, and just stay on your feet. Force them to to create a really good chance or score a fantastic goal. Instead, you just dive in and you get, and whether he's gone down easily or whatever, if you give an opposition player a chance to go down in the penalty area, I'm sorry, but I blame the defender more than the attacker. Just stay on your feet, force him to get past you, force him to beat you. You don't need to go down in your own box when you're 2-1 up. I don't really care about what the ref thinks. I'm more annoyed with Wan-Bissaka. I thought it was a brain dead decision.
It's probably not too dissimilar from the Lamptey one yesterday, where
that annoyed me as well.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't think that was a pen because he got the ball, but why are you just jumping in like that? It's probably
don't give the referee a chance. Like don't allow him to make that decision. Give him no reason to give a penalty or a red card or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you can't control, even if it was a bad decision, you can't control what the referees are going to do. You can only control your own actions. So control the controllables.
Control the controllables. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you can have that.
Thank you, bro. Let me come to some of these super chats. Big up to SB. He says, today I'm a United fan, but tomorrow City till I die. SB with the super chat.
Big up to SB.
Cooler says, have you watched Arsenal, Lbins? Arsenal winning all the games. No, Arsenal. Sorry, that was a joke. I shouldn't have spotted it.
No, you go for it. Proceed.
He's for you, bro.
I don't think Arsenal will win 9 games in a row, personally. They've got a very hard run. They've already won 2 in a row. That's what I mean. They've already won 2. They have to win another 7. That's 9 in a row. They've got some very tricky games coming up. I'm not convinced they are going to win all their games. It might just be one draw in there. It might be a draw against Spurs. It might be a draw against Villa at home and in some sort of like weird 0-0 sort of thing at the Emirates. But I just don't know if they win every single game.
Yeah, I agree. Big up to LB says, Liverpool definition of a bozo gene.
Long may continue.
Yeah, I mean, Konso, what's he doing? What is he doing, bro? But that's why you got to go kill the game.
That was crazy.
Oh, I think he's all right as well. Yeah, but what are you doing? That's why you got to go kill the game, man, because you got to anticipate that people can make mistakes at times. It's a madness. But listen, I want to turn our attention more towards City now because obviously that result today has given us more confidence. We still need favours from our Premier League teams and our friends and colleagues in this Premier League, but our City starting to click into gear at the right time. 4 goals in each of our last couple of games. We're now coming up against, obviously, we got Real Madrid, but then after that, Premier League wise, we got Luton Town at home. You'd like to think that's another 3 points. What's your take on that? Are City clicking into gear at the right time, or we get a bit overgassed?
I've been very happy with the performances recently. I don't think it's a coincidence that coincides with Jack Grealish coming back into the side and Rico Lewis coming into the side. He's not had a lot of minutes this season, has Rico, but he was sort of like the instigator of our treble last season. He was the theory behind going to that system, and similar situation here. He's Pep's been reluctant to use him this season. He's trialed Akanji in that John Stones role. He's trialed fullbacks out wide to try to create that box midfield. They've all had their flaws. It seems like the preferred shape is Stones stepping up. If Stones isn't available, Lewis is the next best bet. He's so comfortable on the ball, never really seems to lose it. Fantastic in the pockets. I don't think it's a coincidence that we look just so much more fluid as well. I think when we've got a player like him on the pitch, especially when we have the ball. I think he bounces off Phil Foden really well. We all know how good Foden's been this season. And again, I tweeted about this. Every single goal against Palace came down that left side. And who was on that left side? It was Jack Grealish. Didn't get a goal, didn't get an assist technically, even though technically for me should have got an assist, but didn't count as one, by the official statistics.
Robbed.
But 100%, at least one of them robbed, yeah. A disgrace. But it's not a coincidence that we actually do seem to be looking much better. Even when Grealish came on against Arsenal, we seem to be a little bit more threatening and dangerous. That happens if you play wingers out wide, of course. Yeah, it is a really good time, but obviously we need him to stay fully fit. If Stones is going to be out for longer, we need Lewis to stay fully fit as well. It just provides a totally different attacking dynamic, and you and I have discussed that we need to focus and prioritize attacking at this stage. Draws, not good enough. If we can outscore the opposition, we're going to have to outscore the opposition. If we concede like silly counters like we did against Palace, fine. But let's score 4, as we have done in 2 games. That has got to be the focus now. And I think
that's the
Lewis
way to go.
offers us that.
Yeah, it's quite funny actually, because I can't remember if this was in the player ratings yesterday or the watch along, but some point yesterday, someone sent in a message and said, LB, I think your opinion is wrong on the way that you want us to approach the Premier League games, which is obviously being more attack focused, accept the vulnerabilities at the back. By the way, it's 1-1 Spurs Forest, just equalised there, Forest. Being more vulnerable at the back and just accepting that, we're just gonna have to win games. And he said, no, we shouldn't do that. We should go for the Kovacic. We should go for the more secure and try and win games. But here's the thing with that. That's what I said to him. I said, the problem is our defense hasn't been good enough to do that this year. Last year, our defense was cooking. Like, we was literally keeping clean sheets against Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Arsenal, these sort of teams, and or whoever. I don't know if we kept a clean sheet against Arsenal, but you know what I mean? Like, we was keeping clean sheets. This year, we've not been good really defensively all year. So why try and force the defense to be good by playing Kovacic and playing more defensive-minded players when it probably still isn't going to work anyway? Because, it just looks like it's going to be one of those seasons where we're just not that great defensively. And just go for the more attacking option and saying, and sort of like embrace the fact that we've not been great this year defensively by saying, you know what? Instead of trying to protect our defense and instead of doing all this, we're just going to full send it. We're going to play Foden and Kevin De Bruyne in the middle. We're going to play fucking Haaland and whoever else, you know what I mean? We're going to push our full-backs forward and we're just going to go for it. And you know what? Yeah, we're going to get cooked on the counter-attack. Yeah, we're going to get cooked on transition. But you're not telling me that if you're playing Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Haaland, Grealish, Bernardo or Bob or Doku, that you're not going to create more chances than the opposition in the Premier League, because this is Premier League only, guys. And therefore, that's the style that we should go for. And that's what we've done in the first 2 games of this 9-game run. And we just need to keep doing it, man. We need to keep doing it. And I think that these players, after that game against Arsenal, I like the fact that Bernardo came out and went, we're no longer favourites for the title. It's going to be difficult to win it for me. Because that they're not deluded. They're not sitting there saying, "Oh, don't worry, lads." You know what I mean? Because I remember doing some streams and people was like, "No, we can still drop points and be fine." It's like, no. We have to win every single game. But this is what I was saying at the start of the stream. I think actually sometimes when you're in that position of you need to win 9 out of 9, and in fact, funny enough, I remember when we went to Newcastle all those years ago. I remember when we dropped points against Newcastle. We went on a mad run afterwards, 14 out of 14, and I was at that game. And I was on the coach, I got on the coach after the game at St. James's Park. I think did we draw or lose that game?
I think we lost, didn't we? I think we ended up losing. And then Liverpool drew, I think.
Yeah, I think we lost, right?
Yeah.
I remember getting on the coach, and my mate said to me, I said to my mate, I can't remember who said it, but one of us said it. Said, the only way we win the league now is if we win. I think it was 14 out of 14. Chat can correct me if I'm wrong. And what did we do? We went and won 14 out of 14, and we won the title. Why? Because the pressure's on. You know, like the draw's not good enough. Like there's none of this. Oh, we'll just take the draw. Like you've got to just go boom, go full send it, man. And that's why I kind of like the position we're in. And I believe that we can do it. I believe that we can win all our games now to the rest of the season. Now, what's interesting is, and I want to get your take on this, Lbins, is we are going to be playing different styles every couple of games now because we've got Madrid, and Madrid you play a completely different style.
Yeah.
And then you go back to Luton and play a different style again. Do you think that, because if you think last year, we might have changed slightly away from home in the Champions League, but we kind of played the same way for the majority of the rest of the season, in the second half of the season. Now we're going to be doing something completely different. How do you see the change in styles impacting the team? You think that could negatively impact us? The fact that we're chopping and changing. 1 minute we're going all out attack. Next minute we're going to the Bernabeu and going, whoa, a little bit more cautious.
I don't see it as being an issue. I think that our players are intelligent enough to, go from one way of playing to another. I also don't think that, because I know you said yourself full send it, but we both know that doesn't mean, play Doku and Alvarez and Hall and Foden and When you say that, as we've discussed, there is still a modicum of like control in there, for example, with Jack Grealish. So even when City, quote, full send it, we're not properly popping off. I think for me, the only difference really might be, for Real Madrid, you play both Grealish and Kovacic, because a draw there is perfectly acceptable to get a draw at the Bernabeu. There's nothing wrong with that. Outside of that, apart from like maybe like an FA Cup semi-final or whatever, every other game should follow a similar flow. Outside of Liverpool and Arsenal, there's no team that's going to outscore us, or should be able to play better attacking football than us. So why not go for it a little bit more? Haaland would love that as well. Haaland's not having the best finishing season, but if you give him some more chances are he's probably going to score some more. Right now, he's working off breadcrumbs at the moment. Like that through ball from De Bruyne against Palace, he should score it 100%. But that was one chance. That was like one of those through balls. He doesn't get enough of them. So if we play a style and we play certain players which is more suited to that style, in basically every single game from now to the end of the season, outside of like the Bernabeu, and like, let's say we draw Arsenal in the semi-final if we get to that stage, at the Emirates, every other game, I think we should be looking to play that style. I'm looking at the fixtures. Again, the only one that sort of screams danger could be Spurs. But in my opinion, I know we drew at the Etihad, but in my opinion, we've outplayed them twice. So that's definitely another game we can win. So yeah, we should be looking to use our brilliant attack, because if you play more open like that, then in general, the team with the better attackers are going to win because your attackers get more chances. Foden would thrive off that. Haaland would thrive off that. De Bruyne, Grealish as well. Doku if he plays. Yes, would it introduce some defensive frailties or further defensive frailties? Sure. But as you've rightly pointed out, we're already frail. It doesn't matter how we play. We always concede the first shot on target, it seems. So why continue to do that if it isn't working? It's clearly not working.
Embrace it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, well, you know what? 7 games left in the Premier League, other competitions. Go on, see if you can outscore us, because we're going to come at you, and we're not going to take our foot off the gas, and we're just going to go for it every single game. And again, go for it doesn't mean balls to the wall, back to, we've got overlapping centre backs and popping off and like crashing the box, etc. Grealish is still on the pitch. It's control. It's like almost controlled chaos in a way. When you've got Foden and Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob in those pockets, and they can just interchange really, really quickly, and the defense, and it's chaotic because the opposition defense doesn't know what's going on, and then you can find the runs of Haaland because space is created. I think I totally agree with you. That's the style of football. And do I think it's an issue going from one style to another? No, I don't think so. We did it last season against Bayern in the Champions League, away against Real Madrid. We only need to do it, in my opinion, one more time, maybe 2, depending on. Well, yeah, we need it 2 more times maximum, I would suggest. Has something happened in the game?
Yeah, no, Chris Wood just missed the goal from a yard out. Listen, I agree. I think it'll be interesting to see how we do switch from those styles of play, but now this is it, man. I'm kind of excited now, and obviously we go to Madrid. You're absolutely right. A draw at Madrid would be a decent result. We'll 100% take that. Yeah, I have no idea, Danny, how Chris Wood has missed that from a yard out. But yeah, we go to Madrid, and it's going to be an interesting game because we don't need to win. Obviously, we want to win, but we don't need to win. A draw would be a fine result. Bring them back to the Etihad, and we've got a great record there. We back ourselves to win. But Madrid for me is going to be interesting because. We've not defended well this year. We're going to have to defend better when we go to Real Madrid. And of course, they're going to be right up for this. They're going to want a little bit of revenge. They were almost humiliated, really, when they come to the Etihad last year. They just didn't know what hit them. You know what I mean? When we was getting all the goals and stuff. So they're going to want a little bit of revenge. I don't know if you've seen, but all the Madridsters in the Bernabeu are asking all the fans to turn up in white. Like they're literally doing everything possible to try and. It's a maximum sellout. It's going to be a record attendance at the Bernabeu for this game. Everything. They're doing everything possible to try and put the pressure on. And we need to go there, and really show our minerals, man, and defend properly, defend as a team, play as a unit, and show our experience. Look, we're champions of Europe. We hold that title. We've got to go there knowing that we've not played well this season, but knowing that we've got a performance in our locker. And this is where I want to take this conversation now, because I did a poll yesterday on Twitter, and I'll bring it up on screen in a second. But there's a big decision that needs to be made for Tuesday night, and it's who plays in goal. Ederson is now back in training. He's obviously on the bench for the game yesterday, but he's not played for quite a while. That could be potentially an issue. Ortega is our second choice goalkeeper, but he's been in phenomenal form since he stepped in for Ederson. What would you do here, bro? Because I don't think it's an easy decision. I know the people in the chat, nor the people on Twitter, because I've done the poll and it's very split. Yesterday on YouTube, the poll was 51%, 49%. And I'll get the poll up and whack it on screen. But yeah, what's your sort of thoughts on the goalkeeper situation? It's not an easy one for me.
It's still Ederson for me. It has to be. I know that lots of people don't like Ederson. I don't think he's a bad shot stopper, by the way. I think that's overblown personally. Oh, wow. 60% Ortega. That's mad. If Ederson's got a slight knock, then it's not a question. Ortega, that's fine. But for argument's sake, I'm assuming that they're both fully fit, fully sharp, whatever. So if we're taking fitness and sharpness out of it, I've got to ask the question, right?
Okay, can I just quickly interrupt there? You can't take sharpness out. You can take fitness,
right?
Because we assume Ederson is fully fit, but you can't take sharpness out because we know he's not fully sharp, Ederson, because he's not played for a month or whatever. So you can have your fitness, you can have Ederson's fully fit, but you can't have him match sharp because we know he's not match sharp.
Right. I still think
made it more difficult, but
to be fair, it has. That's a very good point. I still think the answer is Ederson for me. I expect Real Madrid. I still expect us to have most of the ball. I don't care if we're away from home. I expect Real Madrid to be very intense in their pressing. I think they will know as well as we do that they're probably not going to win at the Etihad. It's certainly not in their favor. So they will know, as much as we all know, that statistically, based on probability, they need to win at the Bernabeu. So I think they're going to be very intense in terms of how they're going to play. I think they're going to take more risks. I think they're going to try to engage us high up the pitch. And if that happens, I think that we need our best ball-playing keeper at the back. So for me, I'm going for Ederson because I think we need to try to... Well, yeah. So for me, I think we need to put ourselves in the best position whereby we can counter them if they do indeed choose to come at us with intent. And I do think that will be the case. So for me, you play your best keeper. For me, I think Ederson's our best keeper. I'd start Ederson personally.
Oh, I'm fucking torn, man, big time.
I was to say, the good thing is that whoever the choice is, it's not a bad thing because they are both very good players.
Yeah,
so it's not a, it doesn't, if I see Ortega at the Bernabeu, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, Ederson's not playing. I'll be like, that's fine. Ortega's a brilliant keeper. If I see Ederson, I'll be like, that's fine. Ederson's a brilliant keeper. So I don't think it's a bad call either way. So I don't think there's a wrong answer is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't really mind who, but if you're pushing me, Ederson.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me with the Ederson thing, the Ortega thing, yeah, and I don't know, some people might think this is just like dead sort of argument, but like, has he ever played at like a Bernabeu in like in a big Champions League game, or has he ever played at like the Allianz, or in a big game? I know he played against Liverpool and like when he come off the bench. I know he's played against Arsenal a couple of times, but like, the only thing that scares me about Ortega isn't not his goalkeeping ability, because his goalkeeping ability is class, yeah, but like. But then again, he did play against United in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, he'll have played at Bayern as well, like in the Bundesliga. He's played against Liverpool. He came on, didn't he, for when Ederson got injured at Anfield? There's no environment more pressing than that. I don't think the mental issue will be an issue. To be fair, I see where you come. I think he can cope with that.
Yeah, you know, like sometimes, like when a player is like pretty good, but then they step into the lights, the whole world's on it, like the whole world's watching, and then like they just crumble. Like, but no, I think he's decent. I'm probably just on the side of Ederson.
Sure,
but I'm like well close to picking. I'm seriously like, and you know what? Don't be surprised if I change my mind, man, because I'm backing Ortega big time.
Oh no, I love him. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a look at the title running and the fixtures remaining for all three teams now in the last part of the show. Big up to everyone that's tuned in on Twitter and you guys on YouTube as well. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. More LB, it's LB, and of course Nobbins. Links in the description. If you're watching on Twitter, then make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you give Nobbins a follow. I've linked him in the comment section below, so you can give him a follow as well. But yeah, let me try and bring up this. I tried to find like a fresh fixture thing, but I struggle to that's not ideal really, is it? That's not great. Let me try and can maybe I zoom in on that? Is that any better? That's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
Right, okay. So City on the right, Arsenal in the middle, Liverpool on the left. So where are we at now? We're at the Crystal Palace, Villa, and Luton. Okay, so what's your take on that? These squiggles, by the way, this guy called Ellie, or girl called Ellie, I'm not sure. This is their prediction, but
Sure.
Arsenal definitely have the hardest running, innit? Arsenal definitely have the hardest running, in my opinion. They've got Villa coming up this weekend. They got Wolves away. That's tricky. They got Spurs night match. They got they got Chelsea on a night match. They got Spurs away. They've still got to go to Old Trafford. They want 100. So they're in the best position at the moment in terms of the league, right? The league's in their hands, but they've got the hardest running. If you look at Liverpool out on the left hand side, we need them to drop one more game. Either a loss or a draw would be fine. They've still got to play the Merseyside derby against Everton. That's away as well. Spurs and Villa, probably they're the only three that I'm looking at. Maybe West Ham away, but I doubt it. The three there, Everton, Spurs, and Villa, we need one of those to do us a favour. And if you look at the City one, you know, Luton at home, Brighton were absolutely shambolic against Arsenal yesterday. Forest away can be tricky, and they'll be in a relegation scrap. Wolves at home, I think playing them at home is a lot easier than playing them away. That should be 3 points. Fulham probably on the beaches. West Ham, that's the final game of the season. Spurs is going to be put in, I believe, after the Fulham game. That's obviously our main tricky one there. But what's your assessment when you see these title running fixtures?
Yeah, I will say it's a good thing that Liverpool dropped points today, because I am struggling to. No, there are some games that so starting with City, as we discussed, City can't really afford to drop any points. We should win our home games because we'll be at home, obviously. The trickiest ones there are Brighton, Spurs. Brighton are a weird team. We should probably beat them because they will try to play like us, and no one can play like us as good as us. So we should beat them. The only one is Spurs, but if it was like sort of like Spurs with Harry Kane and how they would normally play against, like purely on the counter, that'd be trickier. But Ange actually sort of wants to try to attack us a little bit more than Spurs teams of the past. So there is a world in which City win all their games. That's a thing. I can see the middle one is that is.
I've got a better thing.
Gone.
Yeah, I'm going to bring you this one up. I've got a better one. There you go. I'll be with you momentarily.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, the middle one is Arsenal, and I can the 2 games I look there. It's Spurs away, partly because Spurs are good, partly because it's a North London derby as well, and Spurs will know because that's quite late on, isn't it? So they'll know that they've got a really good chance of ruining a potential Arsenal title race party, and Spurs fans still won't have forgotten the season where Arsenal won the title at White Hart Lane. So if Spurs can have that sort of moment where it's like, all the lights are on them and like they're in the sun because they've taken away Arsenal's title chances, that's huge. And the other one I look at is Old Trafford. That's United's last home game of the season. They'll want to end the season on a high for their fans, etc. Again, the narrative there. Do United want Arsenal to win the title? I know technically all of these are United's rivals, but you get me. Those are the 2 games. I can see Arsenal dropping points in both of those games. I can maybe see 2 draws there.
Yeah, and as well, if you think about the Spurs game as well, if we're being honest, yeah, Spurs they're pretty much sorted now, innit, on the top 4, like top 5, sorry, which is because United are not getting top 5 now, innit? Yeah. Spurs are now they're currently 9 points ahead of United, but if they win the game today, they'll go. Sorry, no, they're I think they're 8 behind, but yeah, they're basically clear, right? So Tottenham can go into that game and probably go, you know what, we can just shit out a draw here. No, I mean, we don't need to win the game. Obviously, they'll try and win it, but we don't need to win. So that's one. And again, we're just Arsenal. We only need them to drop points in one game. If we're accepting that we need to do our job and we need to win all the games now, Luton, Brighton, Forest, Wolves, Fulham, West Ham, Spurs, we accept that we need to win them all. Yeah, then we only need Arsenal to draw a game. We don't even need them to lose, man. So I'm looking at this going, if Arsenal win all these games now for the rest of the season, fair fucks, man, because that is a difficult running. I don't see them doing it. So then it's a case of, will we do it? I look at Liverpool. I actually think Liverpool's the one that's more likely to win all their games because I just feel that, like, you know, they got Spurs at home. The Villa away one, that's the one for me. Villa, that'll be Villa's last game at home for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
God, imagine if we get all the way there as well and we've still got to go to Spurs.
Oh, God. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, if it was Aston Villa from like November, December times, then I'd be very comfortable that Villa can get something from that. I'm not sure now. I think that maybe the game there, which is maybe the most likely they'll drop points in, I think is actually Spurs at Anfield, to be honest. That sounds mad. But there's a weird storyline with Spurs and Liverpool. Obviously, the game earlier this season with Spurs getting the win in controversial circumstances. Even the most recent title race with Liverpool and City, that came down to Liverpool dropping points at Anfield against Spurs. They're a horrible team to play against, as we know. And I think they've got something for me. I think I think I can really see them dropping points there. West Ham away as well. I've just noticed that's actually away, not home. That isn't easy. Paquetá, future City player? Question mark. Can he announce himself like that? Oh, imagine he scores the winner in the 90th minute and he like lifts up the shirt and it's like, call me Pep. Oh my God, absolute scenes. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, I've called it. That's the season done.
Certainly doable. It is certainly doable. We need a helping hand. You know what I mean, from some of these teams, but I think we can win our game. It's gonna be tough. I'm going through I know we've just like spoke about like the fixtures and that, but I'm just doing that because obviously of what's happened with the United game today. But like generally speaking, I'm on a one game at a time strategy now.
Of course.
And it's 2 games in and 2 dubs. First of all, it takes the pressure off, bro, because you're not worried about what's happening in a month's time. You're just like, this is the next game. It's great, and chat like it as well. Chat buzzing, chat. Appreciate the one game at a time strat. You know what I mean? I know it's kind of funny saying that after we've just done all that sort of analysis, but no, seriously, man. I'm thinking. Oh, the thing is as well, what you got to take into consideration here as well. This doesn't include the Champions League and the Europa League fixtures as well. Do you know what I mean? So there's going to be, you know, Arsenal play Bayern Munich on Tuesday. We play Real Madrid on Tuesday. We've got the early kickoff. Well, the earlier kickoff out of the 3. We play first against Luton, so we can go top of the table again this weekend. You know what I mean, I seen a couple of people moaning about 12:30 kickoff, man. I said, nah. I said, you know what? Beginning of the season, midway through the season, moan about 12:30 kickoffs because they're grim. But when you get to this part of the season, I low-key think you need them, me. I low-key think 12 kickoffs are the way forward. You get up, yeah. You don't have all day to worry about the game. You get up, you wake up, you have your breakfast, boom, you watch the game, yeah. You go to the game, you watch on TV, whatever, yeah. And then you win, hopefully, and then you just sit back and you relax and you watch everything else unfold in front of your eyes. The worst thing to be doing in title races when you get to the business end of the season is playing last. And I think it's even worse when it's a 3-team title race because you see one team win. You know what I mean? Liverpool, would have seen Arsenal win yesterday. They would have done the same thing. You know what I mean? They would have seen the Lamptey giving the penalty away, moaning about that. See Brighton just open up completely and be like getting annoyed at Brighton. And then you've got to go to Old Trafford and get a performance knowing that City and Arsenal have both done our jobs and we're all watching you. It's not nice, man. I'm telling you. We got that Luton 3 p.m. kickoff. When I meant early kickoff, Ian. Sorry, man. I meant earlier than Liverpool and Arsenal. You know, we're in a situation now. We win that game against Luton at 3 p.m. You know, Liverpool play on a Sunday at 2, and Arsenal play after at half 4. I mean, again, you know, it's Super Sunday back to back. Kind of stinks like one of them might drop points, bro.
Look, yeah, and we've got to do that. I do think that if we win all our games, we will win the title. Because again, I just can't see every single team being perfect. I think that's crazy. There's been this sort of like Pep Guardiola has created this idea that it's easy to win games back to back to back to back to back to back to back in the Premier League because he won like 14 in a row or whatever. It's not easy at all. So if Arsenal can win 9 in a row, fair play. It would be incredibly. I don't think they've done that once all Premier League season. And it'd be very impressive if they did do it now at the business end, and they'll be worthy champions. But yeah, look, if we take our games one at a time, as you say, and we just get over the line every single time by hook or crook, then we've got a fantastic chance of somehow, despite this being a weird, chaotic season, ultimately clutching it right at the last.
It would be insane. It really would. Let's have a look at some of these super chats, man. I appreciate the support, guys. Please make sure you drop a like on the stream as well. Big up to Prodigal Fraudadada. Says Arsenal always bottle it when they lead. Believe. Well, listen, Arsenal now are in the prime position. The league is in their hands. Yeah?
Yes.
But they've got the hardest fixtures, clearly. Right? Let's just have that as facts. So, like I say, if Arsenal go on now and win the league from this position, which will probably mean winning all the games, maybe they could get away with losing one. You know what I mean? If City lose against Spurs, and obviously Liverpool might drop points, but if they go on and win the league from this position, fair dues, man. Fair dues to them. He then says Ortega or Edison for the rest of the season. I'm going Edison just, bro. But listen, I might change my mind. I might change my mind because I'm really liking Ortega's shot stopping ability. Is, in my opinion, clear. I think it is clear. Sanji says Madrid will play same lineup as they did versus Valencia. I might take a look at that in a sec, bro. Big up to you. And Dylan says it's down to mentality now, lads, and City have it. Well, again, you know, coming back to what I said before, Dylan, you know, City are in a position now where it's like we know what we've got to do, man. And like I say, I sometimes think that's a better position to be in because you're just chilling. You're like, you know, we know what we need to do. There's no excuses now. There's no excuses. He says what? Madrid will play the same lineup as they did versus Valencia. When did they play Valencia? 2nd of March when they got. Okay. Oh, okay. I've got it. This is the team that he reckons they're playing, bro. Let me get this up on screen for you. This is Sanjeet. This is Sanjeet's opinion, but to be fair, it looks maybe factual. Lunin in goal. Yeah, because Think is still out in it. Courtois.
Yeah.
That Lunin, by the way, is meant to be pretty sick. Carvajal, Chouameni, isn't he meant to be injured? Or is he risk?
He's 1 yellow card away from missing if he gets booked in the Bernabeu, he misses the Etihad game.
But I think he might be. I think someone said before in the chat that Madrid Extra on Twitter reported that he might actually just like be injured. He might be out for the game. Someone in the chat check that. Is Chouameni out of the game? Rudiger, Mendy, Valverde, Cruz, Camavinga, Bellingham, Junior, Rodrigo. Is that what we think then? Who's on the bench then for that game? Who
That looks like their main team, to be fair. Modric doesn't start for them anymore, or as consistently.
Yeah, that looks like what they might go for. So does he play as a centre back then?
Germany does that. Well, they've had a bit of a centre back crisis this season, have Real Madrid. So sometimes he does fill in at centre back. Yeah.
Because they were saying that maybe Nacho might have to come in. Yeah,
because I know like Camavinga's played left back a lot, for example. So it might be, you know, Camavinga left back, Germany moves into the midfield, or whatever. It depends on centre back availability. Yeah.
If that's the team,
I was just gonna say I don't think that team's better than last year. Can't lie to you guys.
Do you want me to get the team up from last year?
Yeah. I know Real Madrid are going to win the league this season, and they didn't last season. This is not it's not a Real Madrid side where I look at that team and go, wow, that's scary. I look at it and I go, famous last words, Do you get me? Does that spark fear into your soul? That team.
The pace of Vinny and Rodrigo a little bit.
That's fair. I just look at the midfield in particular and like, if we don't like dominate the midfield battle, then I'll be really disappointed, to be honest.
Yeah. For me, the pace of them on the counter attack kind of makes me worried a little bit. Do you want me to bring up the Real Madrid team from the Bernabeu last year, or the Real Madrid team at the Etihad from last year? Because I've got it.
Bernabeu, probably. Yeah. We can do it.
Okay, so this was the Bernabeu team. So
I
obviously,
think that's a better team.
so they've dropped Benzema, put Bellingham in. They've dropped Modric and put Camavinga pushed forward. Um, and then obviously Mendy, I guess, will play left back. And then obviously Alaba's out and they'll play Tchouaméni or Nacho. And then obviously
And
we've got in
Courtois.
Courtois. I mean, to be fair, I mean, there is an argument that, I mean, you could say the same for us, by the way. Obviously, we're weaker, but like you could argue that is. But the only thing I would say that's different here, bro, is that especially at the Etihad, the main reason I think they lost it last year, well, not the main reason, but one of the reasons they lost it last year is because that midfield was too slow. They couldn't handle us. And with Modric unlikely to be playing and Camavinga playing in there, and they've got Vinny, Rodrigo, and obviously Jude Bellingham will probably drop deeper and being in there. I think that it will be a much different game. I think this year's going to be a lot harder than last year.
Okay.
I do. I think it's going to be a lot harder because the game at the Etihad, I just didn't think they had the legs for it. I just don't. I think, you know, I can get up here. If I bring up this game here where we're beating 4-0. Yes, that's right, 4-0. Look at that. Modric, Cruz, Valverde. Obviously, Benzema's pretty slow at that point as well. Like, I just don't think they had the legs for it last year. And I think they were shell shocked a little bit. Whereas this year they're going to be much more equipped. Camavinga being in that midfield is going to help them out massively. Jude Bellingham is going to be in there and helping out. I think it's going to be a completely different game. But you know, I think it's going to be one that we can. Do you think we can go there and win?
We can. I don't
Have we
know
ever
if
won there? I don't think we've ever won there, have we? Oh, we won there once.
Yes, in the season we got knocked out by Leon. I'm pretty sure we beat them home and away that year. We've actually got a better head-to-head against Real Madrid than they do against us, which is crazy. What was the question again? I've forgotten. Sorry.
Do you think we can go there and get the result? Get a result
right.
there?
Sorry. We can. I'm very doubtful that Pep would try to coach us to go and get a win. I think he'll very much try to coach us to not lose. So I'd be very surprised if we pushed the issue unless we're losing. That makes sense. I don't think we'll try to make the first move if that makes any sense. We'll try to control the ball, etc. We'll try to control the midfield battle. But I don't see us being desperate to take those massive risks and create loads and loads of chances. I think it'll be a pretty. I like to think it's gonna be a pretty measured approach.
Yeah, no, and I agree because again, you've got that second. There's no point, right? You've got the second game at home. You've got the second leg at the Etihad. That is huge. We know our record at the Etihad in the Champions League, or just like overall, all competitions really is a joke. Like it's ridiculously good, and in the Champions League, our record is fantastic there as well. Use that to our advantage. You're absolutely right. Of course, we all want to win at the Bernabeu, but go there, you know, really conservative. Keep the ball. You know, let's just let them try and come out. Let them say, you know, we speak to them and say, listen, we beat you 4-0 at the Etihad this year. Our game plan is going to be beat you there again. And you know that we're more likely to beat you at the Etihad than you'll beat us there because of our record. The onus is on Real Madrid to win this home leg, like you say. Now, that means that maybe we sit a little bit deeper, close the space behind us, which might work. You know what I mean? Maybe try and hit them on the break a couple of times. Not that that's really, we're not very great at that, but maybe that's the strategy that we go for. I don't know. But if we get a 0-0 or a 1-1, I genuinely think that's a great result. We come back to the Etihad and listen, you know, you back yourselves in a 1v1 at the Etihad. You got to back yourself against any team in the world. So I'm not going to be like, oh, we have to win at the Bernabeu, otherwise it's game over. Like a draw would be a good result. And listen, even if we got like a 1-0 loss, yeah, it's not great, but you still back yourself. You still got a chance. But no point in going for it and opening yourselves up and potentially, you know, conceding a couple of goals because then you're chasing, you're doing all the hard work at the end. That's just not the way to go for it, is it?
Yeah, totally agree. Stay in the. It's 180 minutes. Stay in the tie. Don't lose at the Bernabeu. Back yourself at home. We know how brilliant the atmosphere at the Etihad was last season, especially in those massive European games. Mars described it as like a cauldron or whatever. There's no reason why we can't do the same thing, especially if we are now actually clicking into gear, as has been evidenced by the past couple of games. Another couple of positive results going into that game. We'll be full of confidence, and we should have enough to beat them at home, 100%.
Yeah, interesting. Right, guys, you know what it's time for before we wrap up. We're gonna do a quick build 11 for the Madrid game. You guys love this part of the show, man. This is probably the best part. Make sure you drop a like on the stream, man. If you tuned in, yeah, on the YouTube, please make sure you smash a like. Please make sure you are subscribed to More LB. Make sure you subscribe to It's LB and subscribe as well to Nobbins. Links in the description, guys. Make sure you subscribe to all 3 accounts. And Nobbins does his Twitch as well, so get yourselves on that. Get the likes up. And of course, if you're watching on X, we've got nearly 1,000 people watching live on X, then you guys can make sure you drop us a follow. Make sure you drop Nobbins a follow as well. Right, bro. So we're both going Edison in goal.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I think Walker's going to be out of this game.
I concur.
I don't think he's fit. I don't think he's going to be fit.
He's a good-looking man.
Okay. Fair enough. What do we do at the back line? So let's these are the players that we do have available.
Sure.
Stones, Diaz, Akanji, Rico Lewis.
Yeah.
Vardiol is we don't know.
Right.
So let's put these in because we know these are going to play. Stones and Diaz, they're 100% going to play, and Akanji's defo going to play, right?
Yes.
But we don't know if you play left back or right back. Let me ask you a question first of all, because obviously, if you know this is the team, innit? If that's you agree that's the team if they fit.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Gvardiol's injured. What do you do?
Fuck. Kanji right back. Sorry, Kanji left back. Got to be, hasn't it? What practically what are the other options? Lewis at left back?
Yeah, but now what you do at right back?
Well, the only option's Lewis, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it is.
If you're telling me that Ake's out and Gvardiol's out, then by definition, isn't that the only option? Unless you want to play Nunes in some sort of high. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Step up, Mr. £50 million panic buy, Matthias Nunes.
I mean, I see the vision. I see the vision.
Do you basically, because this guy's going to be playing against Vinny Jr., right? Who are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys chat as well. Let me know in the chat. If Gvardiol is injured, these are your options, really. You got Nunes, Rico, Gomez. Give him a fair shout. That's pretty much it, man. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Get Gomez off that pitch right now, bro. Get Gomez off that pitch. Get Gomez off this pitch right now, bro.
He deserves to be in the conversation. And Bernardo. They're realistically the only 4, right, that Pep would trust. Well, not trust, but they're the only 4 that we could. You're not going to play Doku right back in it. You're not playing Grealish right back.
Yeah.
So, which one of these 4 are you playing right back? Are we sending Rico Lewis into the Bernabeu to play right back against Vinicius Jr.?
No. We're going to swap Lewis and Akanji.
Ooh.
Lewis has played left back before. He can do it. He can do it again.
You know what? Part of me is like, I fucking kind of low-key want Gvardiol to be injured in a not nasty way, because this would just be fucking insane. Like, to see Rico Lewis, 19 years old, to step into the Bernabeu. That would just be like fucking every City fan's like, you know, as a kid growing up, that would just your dream, innit? And to see him do it, it's almost as if like, you know, he's called Lewis as well, so it's kind of like, yo, low key, that's kind of me.
Exactly.
That is me. I know he's playing left back, bro. Adam called LB.
Oh, wait, you did.
Oh, yeah, he's playing left back. Adam called LB.
Left back Lewis. Left back's my position as well.
Are you shit at football as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, buzzing, man.
Crazy. Absolute scenes.
Right, okay, so we agreed. If Gvardiol is out, then
let's not forget that this isn't some sort of like, you know, Nobbins over thing. Lewis has played left back before. He played left back first game of the season against Burnley. He played left back at Spurs last season. I know he lost that game, but he still played left back then. He played left back in his England debut when he got man of the match.
I will confirm the true stats of Rico Lewis left back according to transfer marked data.
Okay. He has played there before. I said that's at least 3 instances. 2 of those instances he played well. In fact, I think the Spurs game he played well. It was a Rodri mistake which caused that goal. So
According to transfer mark data, he's played left back 3 times.
was it? If it's the 3 games I said, that makes sense. I suppose
It was Spurs away,
that's what I said.
Brighton away,
Oh, I didn't know the Brighton one.
Burnley away.
The Burnley and for England he's played left back as well. So yeah, there you go. So he's played an extra game at left back, which I couldn't even remember. So that's at least 4. So
4 games thrown into Bernabeu.
And that's the thing. It's like, because I don't think there's any weakness in his game at right back, left back. So the question is, do you want to up against Vinicius on the at right back or Rodrigo at left back? For me, it's the lesser of 2 evils. It's not ideal, but if Ake's out, if Gvardio's out, I don't hate the Nunes right back shout. Had he played more minutes, that would be lovely. But is he the sort of player you want to throw in to a totally new position against Vinicius Jr., one of the most terrifying players in the world?
No, I agree. Don Perez says Vinny will cook any option other than Kyle Walker, says Don Perez. But
he's not cooking in a Akanji. No. It's not happening.
No shot. Wakanji in it, you know what I mean? He's been our best defender this year, Akanji.
Kanji doesn't get cooked 1v1. Doesn't happen. Never happens.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens, Perez.
No.
Right. As it happens, I think Gvardiol will be fit. So sorry for wasting your time. Hey. I just wanted to. I did what I just know, just in case he's not fit. I wanted to know what we would do, but I do think Gvardiol. I actually think he'll be fine.
That's fair.
Right. This is another interesting one. Man, caused a little bit of debate on last night's panel show. You guys should definitely go check that out if you've not done so already. But the midfield, I've got to say, bro, there's people out there.
Oh my God, what are you going to say?
Who would have us drop Kevin De Bruyne for Bernabeu?
Crazy. Now, are you one of those people? Crazy. He hesitated. That's crazy.
No, I'm not one of those people. But I also think that they're right. that Foden should be playing in midfield in this game. But then you're not going to play Kevin De Bruyne and Foden in the middle, are you? Are you?
Not the Bernabeu, mate.
So are you playing Kovacic in the midfield?
This I know we were talking about earlier how we need to sort of like full send it a bit more this season. This and the semi-final against Arsenal is the only games where that logic goes out of the window. I think we need to really emphasize, still, not being like overly defensive, but we do still need to prioritize control and being measured. We can't afford to lose this game. I think we can afford to draw it. It's one of the rare instances this season where we can afford to draw it. So I think it's okay to err on the side of caution, personally. Kovacic should be in the midfield, I think. So
who plays next to him? Are you another KDB drop merchant? are you seeing that KDB, this is the game for him to thrive, but then you're not playing Foden in the middle again?
Well, the first thing we need to consider is that when we're playing in possession, Stones is going to push up alongside Rodri. Could we please make the shape the in possession shape, just for my own brain? So can Stones push up alongside Rodri, and then Gvardiol drops into the back 3, Diaz goes to the centre? Thank you. That's for my own brain. Thank you, mate. Yeah. And Kovacic will play slightly more advanced position. That's not an issue. That's fine. Can we also agree that Grealish is going to be starting on that left side?
Yes. Yeah. No. I would, but wouldn't surprise me if Foden starts out there. But okay, Grealish left.
I think Grealish is going to 100% play. Okay. Definitely. Can we just let's pop Hall in as well. That's not controversial. Let's just do that.
Let's whack him in there.
Yeah.
There we go.
So the question now becomes, obviously, there's 2 spots and there's 3 players. Bernardo.
Let's put them on the pitch so you can see, chat, the predicament that we find ourselves in, unless we try a 1-1-6 situation and force another player on the pitch without anyone noticing.
Yeah. The alternative, I suppose, is you could drop Kovacic and put Bernardo in there.
That is a solution.
Would you like to do that?
You could do, but it still doesn't.
I would personally not do that.
It still doesn't give you Foden in the middle, which you are getting to a point where we need to do that, but it's one fucking game.
Yes, exactly. And again, it's a game where we don't need to prioritize that side of the game. So nominally, which means just like, like on paper, it's going to be De Bruyne in the middle, Foden on the right. However, that is not the same as Foden is going to be shunted out to the right and we never see him. There will be lots of interchanging with De Bruyne and Foden.
So you're
Okay,
telling me that Bernardo's not playing?
Well, it's if Bernardo is playing, then Kovacic isn't.
It's so difficult, isn't it?
De Bruyne's got to be. De Bruyne is De Bruyne. He must be there. He must play. Foden is Foden. He must play. He must play. Grealish must play. Haaland must play. The only contentious one for me is Kovacic or Bernardo. Who do you go for? In my opinion, we need to err on the side of caution. You can, right, guys. I'm going to quote Littlefinger from Game of Thrones here. I don't think it's quite what he meant when he said it, but this is my mentality. Chaos is a ladder. Yes? Is it easier to climb up a ladder or to climb down it? Obviously, it's much
climb up the ladder.
Exactly. It's easier to climb up a ladder than it is to go down it. It is easier to start from a position and point of control and go into chaos rather than start from a position of chaos into control. Therefore, we should be starting as cautious as we can. If we need to change things and change the dynamics of the game, then you can do that because chaos is a ladder. That is my theory. You're not convinced. That's fine.
No, I am. It's just like I just think I just dropped this geezer, to be honest with you. And I'm just like, I know.
That's also fine, man. That's fine.
Yeah, I know Bernardo maybe doesn't give you quite the same thing as Kovacic gives you in a sort of like defensive and on possession and that sort of type of position that Kovacic gives you, but it's not too far away. And he's a big game player. I know, to be fair, so is Kovacic, to be honest. He's a big game player as well. But I just feel that like we can't be dropping Bernardo. And like at the end of the day, Foden outright, it's not ideal. You want him in the middle, but you know what we here for? Are we Foden PR merchants? Or we actually just want to fucking win the game? And this is a team where we can get all our best players in, and it still has the solutions. It's still good in possession. It's controlling. But you still have that threat down at the other end. I think this. If I was the manager, this is what I would go for.
Okay. Yeah, and this would be my second favorite team. That's fine.
So you would drop Bernardo and play Kovacic.
I personally think, because again, I'm looking at it from the perspective of this is a must not lose. I'm not overly concerned about going out to win the game. That's not the same as, you. Can
I challenge you then on your?
Oh my God, yes, you can.
I need to challenge you because you've just said this is a must not lose.
Yes.
However, if it was a must not lose, would you not play Bernardo right wing and drop Foden?
No, because Foden's been better than Bernardo this season.
Yeah, but from a defensive point of view, from maybe a holding the ball point of view, from a pressing point of view, do you not think Bernardo would be a better option than Foden in this game?
Not on the right, no. In the middle, sure, but not on the right. No.
Interesting. Very interesting.
In fact, I say Foden's the better option because he's better at getting out of opposition presses.
Okay.
So Foden's probably the safer defensive option, actually.
Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, who didn't play at the weekend? Who didn't start the game? So we got
Foden.
Foden was benched. Bernardo was benched. So we know them two are definitely probably going to start. Akanji was benched, so he's going to start. Doku was benched.
I'd be staggered. I'd be staggered if Doku played this game. Surely not.
He played Bob instead of Doku. Like, do you reckon that was a tactical thing, or do you reckon that maybe he's thinking Doku could potentially cook?
I mean, look, Doku can cook up a storm. We all know this. But could it be a bowl of food poisoning at the Bernabeu? That's the question. No, he's surely not going to start. That would be look, that would be incredibly bold. That would be like if Doku starts, that tells me that Pep is not looking at this as a must not lose. Pep is looking at that as we can have these. We can win it, first leg.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a silly move for me. It's just like if you
No,
want to
yeah,
do
I
that at the
agree.
Etihad, if you want to do that at the Etihad, fair game. You know what I mean? If you're bringing them back to the Etihad and say, right, we're going to cook them today, Doku, you're on. Like,
Yeah.
but to do it at the Bernabeu, why?
No. Do you want to briefly try to construct a team assuming Doku starts?
Can do, yeah. Well, sure. I would imagine personally, I would in that situation say Grealish is maybe at risk, and Doku might start left. Would you say? Because Grealish has played 290 minutes since he's come back. And sure,
Oh,
and
maybe.
again, if you play Doku, then he has to play left. Otherwise, you're back into the scenario if you drop him either Bernardo, De Bruyne, or Foden, aren't you?
Maybe Foden left, Doku right? Question
Oh,
mark.
yeah, you could do that. Well, this is why I said earlier on. I actually have a feeling that he might go Foden left wing, and obviously that would be Doku.
That would be really. I think that would be a very bad team, but it would be very interesting.
Do you think it would be a bad team?
No, sorry, bad's not the right word.
Risky.
Yes, it's very. That team screams, "We are going to beat you," rather than "We are just going to try to contain you." That is a team where you are throwing. I mean, look Foden, Haaland, De Bruyne, Doku is incredibly offensive. Yeah, it's a very stable defense, but that is, as I say, very aggressive, and that is going to leave us, in my opinion, very, very, very exposed, and it's incredibly risky.
Yeah.
It would be I think it would be fun.
What is Pep cooking? What's he doing, man?
Do you think Doku's starting then?
I think there's a chance. Because my question to you is then, right? What was the game? Villa, yeah? He played well against Villa.
Yes, on the right. Yeah, yeah.
So let me ask you a question then. What was the tactical reason he played Bob instead of Doku yesterday?
There may not have been a tactical reason. It may have just been because he wants to play Bob, because Bob's a good player and he wants to give him minutes.
Bring
I
him
don't
off
know
the
if.
bench.
No.
Because that's the
No.
thing. If you can't find me a tactical reason that Bob played yesterday instead of Doku, I'm like, well, why did you rest Doku then? Is he saving him like he saved Bernardo, like he saved Foden? Is he saving him for the Bernabeu? Or
Okay.
was there a tactical reason that he decided to play Bob instead of Doku? Now, if there's a tactical reason, fair dues, that answers the
Shall I
question.
try to construct a theory?
Go ahead, please.
Because he wanted more stable wide players in order to help facilitate the less stable De Bruyne in the middle, and that allowed De Bruyne to have that free role in the game, which in turn allowed him to score those goals.
I said the same thing yesterday on the play ratings. Possibly is the reason. Now, if that is the reason, yeah, maybe Doku ain't going to play. But if the reason is maybe he's just going to rest Doku because he wants him to try and try. What's this Ferland Mendy kid like at Real Madrid defensively? I've seen him a lot in an offensive perspective.
Yeah, as I understand it, he's a liability defensively.
Is he? I've never really seen him too much. Like every time I watch Real Madrid, he seems not to play. But when I've seen him more going forward from a defensive point of view. Maybe someone in the chat. Like, is he good defense? Like, if I said to you now, Doku versus Ferland Mendy, who's coming out on that on top?
Yeah, my instinct from what I do know about Mendy, I don't claim to watch Madrid all the time, but from what I do know about Mendy, Doku wins that battle reasonably easily.
So maybe he's going to go Doku, and I think Foden can give you what Grealish gives you out on that left hand side. Maybe not to 100%, but he can give it you to a close 90% of what Grealish gives you. If you don't think he can give you what I think Foden can get the ball, hold the ball, win free kicks, pass it back to Bernardo, pass it back to Gavardio. I think Foden can do what Grealish can do. Maybe not to the shithouse extent of winning yellow card, and winding people up, but he can certainly do the majority of it. So they wouldn't surprise me if he done that. Really wouldn't.
No,
But
yeah.
again, that's a bit of a all I would say is because with that, Doku, De Bruyne, these two, this sort of area here on the pitch. Where should we go? We'll go here, yeah. This sort of area, yeah, could be very interesting. Like Rodri is going to have a lot of covering space because like say they broke down here, yeah, Akanji could be exposed. Rodri's going to have to come in, and that could leave a little bit of a gap for maybe a Jude Bellingham who's going to be playing more centrally to operate in. So I don't know, but then like if he thinks we're going to go there and batter him, fair dues. I would just say we've tried that quite a few times this year. Stamford Bridge, Liverpool, you know what I mean, where we've gone, you know, we're going to take the game to them and try and batter this team, and it's not really worked out. So I don't know. We'll see. It'd be interesting if you start Doku. Fair fucks, man. That's brave. If not, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, so it's certainly interesting. Let me have a look at some of these super chats. Big up to Rational says goal difference counts second to goals for LB. Not sure what that means.
It's the thing that you like talking about goal difference, maybe.
I do like talking about goal difference.
So do I. I love it. 75% of Premier League winners have had the best goal difference.
Yeah, and you can literally lose or win the league on goal difference. So I like speaking about it because it's important. And people often only start talking about it when it's too late. That's what does me head in. People start talking about it when there's 6 games to go. Well, it's fucking too late then, lads.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You just talk about your match day 20 when you're 3-0 up against someone at home at half time and you take your foot off the gas and don't score any more goals. If we're going to possess, no point in having Haaland.
Does that mean like
maybe if we're going to have possession and just like chill? He's got a point?
No.
No?
No. You need Haaland.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends what you mean, because like again, if you could argue though, Tinsay, that having Haaland will mean that they might be a little bit more worried and they'll have a lower line, which will move Real Madrid back away from our goal.
That is a perfect summation. The Real Madrid games last season, did he score a goal? No. But look at the Real Madrid centre-backs in those games. They were obsessed with where Haaland was. And if they're preoccupied and obsessed with someone else, it's irrelevant if he doesn't touch the ball once in the game, because he's by standing on the pitch, he is doing his job because he's occupying defenders, create space for others. And as you say,
I'll stand on the pitch for 400 grand a week, bro. Fucking hell, you know what I mean? So we'll say that. Big up Rational says Foden won't play at the Bernabeu, we'll play at home. Nah, he's definitely playing, bro.
Put your house on him starting at the bar injuries. There is no world in which he doesn't start. No world.
Yeah, 100%. 100% he's starting. 100%. Right, bro. Anything else you want to speak about before Madrid? Because this will be the last time we'll probably speak to each other before the Madrid game, bro.
Yeah, it's look, it's business end of the season. Had a lovely result today. Like, yeah, let's not forget there's another competition going on. This small matter of the Champions League. We should just try to not lose. If we draw, I will be very, very happy. If we draw, I'll be very convinced we go through to the semis. Yeah, no, I agree, man. I agree. It's gonna be a crazy one. It's mad how it's almost here already. Like, we've literally played so many games and it comes thick and fast. We got Madrid Tuesday, Luton on Saturday. Obviously, Arsenal playing Bayern Munich. Liverpool got the Europa League this week as well. So it's popping off, guys. It is indeed popping off. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the show today. If you did, watching on YouTube, please make sure you smash a like, subscribe. If you're watching back on Replay, get your comments in down below. If you're watching on Twitter, maybe it's the first time you've watched our content, then please come over to the YouTube and just give us a subscribe, man. This is the second channel, More LB. The main channel's It's LB, and Lbins' channel is Lbins. The link is in the description. And if you go on Twitter, underneath my tweet, I've tagged him there, so you can give him a follow as well. But yeah, there we go. I will be back tomorrow with some more build up towards this Real Madrid game. It's going to be crazy. Pay attention, LB. Goal difference is counted second to goals for. New rules have been introduced. Really? Well, not for this season. It hasn't. What's that all about?
Goals for.
As it stands, goals for comes before goal difference.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's saying it's changed.
Well, if it has, it's not going to have changed halfway through a season.
Yeah, I don't.
Like what,
right, bro? I'm not sure
that also just makes no that just makes no sense either. The whole point of goal difference is that it counts for attack and defense.
Yeah, bro.
Goals for would be like a very warped thing, unless there's new rules I'm unaware of.
I'm just on the new. I've not seen anything here to suggest they've changed, bro. If they have changed, then that's a bit of a madness because I've not heard anyone speak about that.
No.
So what would be the case if that is the rule? If that is the thing, I think it'll benefit us, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would benefit us
because our
massively.
defense hasn't been good.
Yeah, we're actually only 4 behind in that case, so it's actually better for City if that's the truth. But I don't think it is. I've not heard anyone say that.
No, and again, they're not going to introduce it like near the end of a season for the vibes, are they? They would have to like codify it beforehand. So no.
There we go. Big up everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Smash a like, subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next one. And apparently Chelsea are drawing 2-2 with Sheffield United.
93rd minute equaliser, I think.
That's hilarious. See you later, guys.